Hello Ouch 110, how's everyone doing? Good? I hope. Where to start with this one? This brand, Kerosene, I need to tell you a little bit about it first. The guy behind this line is called John Pegg. He's from New York, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. He's basically living the life that I want. He's a YouTube reviewer. Go and find him. His channel is Kerosene Truth, spelt Trewthe, Truth. Yes, a YouTube reviewer that now has his own line and a few shops as well in America. The good news is, for you fragrance heads that are in the UK, this brand is just about to become available at the end of July in a little tiny shop called Roulier White that I went to visit months back and made a video of. I will put the little link behind. Roulier White is a gorgeous little shop in southwest London. They have a niche perfumery at the back which is quaint and lovely, and the staff are lovely. They let you kind of just get on with it. They've got whole ranges of stuff and you can just smell to your heart's content, and you can even buy samples there. And this is not even a shameless plug because Roulier White didn't tell me to do this. I'm just informing you that this brand, insofar not being able to have it over here, is going to be available soon. So a lovely colleague of mine went to New York recently and went to a shop called Min, and they sell the Kerosene line, and he brought me back 5 samples. So this is the first of 5 that I'll be doing over whatever time, I don't know. And this one is called Creature. Now Kerosene have a really, really cool aesthetic and kind of ethos. The bottles are kind of industrial. My colleague actually bought one back with him, and they are like heavy granite black bottles with stuff stamped on it and kind of embossed into it and stuff like that. They're really cool. I love the fact that it's, like I said, a kind of industrial kind of feel. And I've smelled only 2 of them so far, although I have 5. But I thought I'd start with Creature, as it was the first one I pulled out of the bag. So John Pegg, if you ever watch this, I salute you. I aspire to be like you, and it's great what you're doing. It's great to have a niche brand that comes from a YouTube reviewer that just reaches for the stars and does it. So I'll stop gushing now. So Creature, this came out in 2012. It's an aromatic green fragrance. Everything in this is green, natural. I wouldn't necessarily say something that's pretty, but that's not what the brand is about anyway. So the notes are mint. Mint is the prevailing note in the opening part of this fragrance. Then you have sweet birch. Birch is a very interesting wood to put in a fragrance. It's just not your regular. Birch tar is used to make the smell of leather in fragrances as well. I'm not sure about birch on its own, but birch is, it's just not your regular sandalwood or cedarwood. So it's great. Then you've got lemon, jasmine, green tea, sage, violet leaf, cypress, which is kind of like a sappy, piney kind of smell, cedarwood, patchouli, and oak moss. Oak moss being my worst note ever, but that's fine, it doesn't feature too much. So yeah, let me spray this on my hand. Actually, I've sprayed it on this hand already, so I'll spray it on this hand. The liquid's actually green. Can you see that? It's very light green colour, which would make sense. I mean, if it was red, it wouldn't make sense, would it? So, the opening of this, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say bad stuff, but this isn't one that I personally would wear, but I'll review it for you guys because I'm experiencing it as much as you will be if you smell it. The opening of this is weird. The opening, I get a huge blast of something that smells like menthol. It's minty menthol, kind of eucalyptus, kind of like the smell of something that you would smell when you want to clear your nose when you have a cold. So that was quite shocking. I picked this up randomly recently when I went out, and I thought, I'm just going to spray this on. And by the time I'd got ready and stuff, I thought, what, I'm not going to wear this. It's not my style at all. But I really appreciate how green and unusual this is. It's called Creature. What kind of creature would smell like this? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's effervescent. It's extremely green, which I've already said before. And yeah, it does have a bit of a nose tingly effect going on with this kind of menthol minty blast that I think kind of steps outside fragrance. It's not something I personally would want to walk around smelling like, but that's what it is. It's not my creation, so I appreciate it for what it is, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely... Have you ever... do you have Vicks where you are? There's a brand called Vicks and also Albus oil. The opening of it is kind of a mixture of the both of them. It's kind of antiseptic smelling in the opening. Very unusual. Which is why I don't think I'd wear this, but... yeah. Kind of... yeah, menthol tang. Minty. I'm not going to say toothpastey because it's not toothpastey. That stays for a little while. It stays for, I would say, probably about 45 minutes. There is this kind of weird nose tingly thing going on. But when it dries, other stuff has a chance to come through. And it turns a lot more woody and dry when it's dry. It's the cypress kind of piney sap starts to come through. So you lose the nose tingle and you get an altogether more dry textured fragrance. It's kind of masculine, even though this is marketed for men and women. Who cares anymore, but I have to say that for review purposes, just in case you're wondering. I would say it's probably more masculine. It doesn't feel clean in any way. It's very light. It's kind of transparent, I guess I would say, in terms of being... it's not thick and heavy. It's not a full-bodied fragrance. It kind of goes to a softer, drawn back kind of feel. Light woods, kind of slightly light piney kind of feel. And the oak moss, thankfully, let me just itch my eye there because my hay fever goes nuts in summer. The oak moss, thankfully for me, never comes through. Oak moss to me, I've always said, smells a little bit like cupboard. It smells old. It smells like vintage old woods, and I think it just adds a little bit of spark to this. The cedar's there. Cedarwood gives a fragrance. It's powdery, essentially, but it does give a little bit of that sharp woody twang, and I can smell that in here as well. Patchouli I can't smell, but that's just my nose, thankfully. And yeah, it's just very interesting. Green, menthol, minty weirdness at first, and then a kind of subtle, very natural, woody end. Unfortunately as well, it doesn't really last too long on me. I think after about 3 or 4 hours, it's kind of not really there anymore. But that's just how it is. I have 4 more of these to review, and I've smelled ones that have astounded me, but Creature was the first one I picked out. So this is Creature. I'm Mono, and click my logo to subscribe. I'll see you guys for another review very soon. Goodbye.